So, I work with Voto Latino. We're a nonpartisan civic organization out to educate our community as to about the voting process, among other projects as well. And the way we do this, we use social media, right? We pretty much target our Latino millennials where they're already at, which is online. According to the Pew Research Center, 80% of Latino adults use social media. That's the largest in any other ethnic group here in the United States. So our efforts are targeted towards that demographic right then and there. So right now what we've done is we started the Trend Your Voice campaign. You can visit the website, trendyourvoice.com. And really this is our platform to register Latino millennials online to vote. Now, of course, because we have all these voter registration laws in these different states, in certain places you can complete the process online without having to print the form. For the most part, the individual will start the process online and then go ahead, print the form, sign it, and mail it to their elections departments. This is pretty much our way to, like I said, to reach our group. Every year, 800,000 new Latinos become eligible to vote in the United States. That's a whole congressional district right then and there. The problem that has existed within our community has been that there's been not one organization until us recently that has targeted that group on a constant annual basis to come, not only to come out and vote, but do the first part, register to vote itself. So by targeting these millennials, okay, and this is kind of going to a cultural study of Latino families and politics. Latino millennials are usually the gatekeepers to their families, right? Especially the first, second generation Latino Americans. Because they'll be the ones probably most informed about what's going on when it comes to specific issues in terms of laws and being able to translate that to their parents. So by targeting those millennials, we'll be able to then go ahead and target the family at that point and encourage the entire family to go out and vote. Now, of course, there's different, we don't have the same, as Latinos, the same history as African Americans faced in this country. We have so many different nationalities that come to the U.S., so many different experiences, so many different social classes that there's different, ways to look at it, right? But we all face the same issue of voter suppression as well. For example, in the 11 states that currently have the voter registration laws, that's home to 15% of all Latino voters in the country. And that's massive. We can go down the list: Alabama, North Carolina, Florida, Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, California, Utah, Nevada. We're talking pretty much a massive, not only so much a massive demographic shift, but if we're able to get the Latino vote out, there'll be massive implications to social and political policy in this country. Massive. The problem is like I said, there hasn't been outreach to them, both culturally relevant and also that makes sense to them. Because of course, we also have the unfortunate circumstance of having a lot of families are mid-status, right? So a lot of these Latino millennials, like myself, my parents are undocumented, right? And in many families, one parent might be undocumented, or their brother might be undocumented, but they're not. So what happens is that when you have a cultural fear of deportations of all these other issues, lack of access to health care or unemployment, it causes this lack of information to that family that, those that can register to vote should, because then they can vote, which then can cause better changes for their families. But there's a lack of that information. So, pretty much, that's where our efforts stand. In the 2012 elections, just to give you some background on the numbers, there was 23.7 million Latinos that were eligible to vote. Only 12 million voted. That's actually went down in percentage from the 2008 elections, even though there was massive outreach to these groups. So really our challenge is, first of all, breaking barriers, right? Among our community, that culture of fear and misunderstanding. We have to break those barriers down and let them know, hey, really, if you don't vote, immigration reform doesn't pass, won't pass ever, okay? And like I said, we're nonpartisan. We'll support whoever supports comprehensive immigration reform. But, unfortunately, the way the politics has worked out so far, it's one party against the other. Hey, but the important thing is, if you come out and vote, you can ensure that those individuals that do support CIR will have CIR passed in the House. And it's not just about that. It's about healthcare, unemployment, jobs, education, so many of the issues that face our own communities. you know, the way to go about making sure that these changes do happen is by going out and register to vote. And the way we do it is we reach them where they're already at, which is already in the social media world.